Hi friends, I just got an X-Tool diagnostic system and I will now check my Vento. This is a 1.6 liter automatic car. I don't have any engine codes at the moment, but I'll just put in the scanner and see if there are any codes or any information that we can pick up from this. At the moment there are no check engine lights and I have no problem. I'm just testing this tool. So this is the position where the OBD tool has gone. So this is just for reference. And now I will switch on the car, just turn it on. And then we will go to this tool here. We'll go to diagnostics. We will click Asia, and then we will see if we have got Volkswagen here. We don't have Volkswagen in Asia, so we will do this in Europe, and then we'll look for the Volkswagen. Here we go. Okay, so we will put it for automatic detection. Pulled up this information. It has given the correct VIN code. Vehicle year is also correct. It is a 2013 model. So we will OK that. And then we will do an automatic scan. So it will check 4 modules. It's checking the first out of the 4. So you can see it has pulled up this O2 sensor bank 1. So this is the sensor before the catalytic converter. It is showing a malfunction, lower limit not reached, passive. So we will have a look at this. So yeah, so the bank 1 sensor is this one. This is the O2 sensor before the catalytic converter, which is down there. We'll have to see it from down there. So this is the exhaust manifold. So what happens is oxygen sensor is one of the sensors which the car uses for ensuring the stoichiometric ratio of 14.7 to 1, which just means that if you take gram as a unit, so it requires 14.7 grams of air to fully combust 1 gram of petrol. The ECU also takes inputs from the mass airflow sensor, which this car does not have. There is a manifold air pressure sensor which is behind here, behind this air filter, which also gives a input to the ECU. And the oxygen sensor plays a very important role because it actually sees how much oxygen is there in the exhaust gases. If there is less oxygen detected by the sensor, then the mixture is considered rich, and the voltage it will send is 0.9 volts to the ECU, and which a rich mixture just means that there's too much fuel compared to the air, and then the ECU will inject less fuel into the combustion chamber to maintain that stoichiometric ratio. On the other hand, if there is more of oxygen detected by the sensor, by the oxygen sensor, then the voltage will be around 0.1 volt, and in this case there is more oxygen than air. It's a lean mixture, so it will inject more petrol into the system. So this is the role this sensor plays. It's a very vital role for the fuel efficiency. If it gives incorrect or it fails, then you will have difficulty starting the car, running problems and such. So we'll just open it and see if we can clean it. Sensor here, it is a 22 spanner, 22 size. So what we'll do, we'll just put the spanner here, and if we are unable to open it with this spanner, then we'll have to get a special tool for us, but hopefully I will be able to crank it open. So yeah, so this is it. Pull it, and so that's great. Now we'll trace this wire and it goes here. So this is the connector. We'll just pull this upwards and open it so we can pull it out. goes out, and then we will have to see where it comes from. I can just open it up with my bare fingers. That's it. So this is it. We will now just clean it and then put it back again. Okay, there are these, if you can see these two wires, this is for the heater. There's a heater element in this, which we can check with the multimeter if we want. So these first two pairs, and then we'll take it from there. Oxygen sensor works is, it has a sensor here, and it measures the oxygen that is present in the exhaust after the combustion process. So the hot exhaust gas that is coming from the exhaust manifold passes through these holes, and that determines how much oxygen is present in the exhaust gases. If there is more fuel than oxygen, then the mixture is considered to be rich, and you will get a voltage of 0.9 volts, and this message is then sent to the ECU, and then less fuel is injected into the system. On the other hand, if there are more oxygen in the exhaust gases, then it's considered a lean mixture, and in this case, of course, more fuel is added, and the voltage, if it is measured, would be 0.1 volts. So this actually just decides how much oxygen molecules there are, and how it does this is it measures the potential difference between the amount of oxygen in the ambient air and the oxygen molecules in the exhaust gases. And for this to function, it has to become very hot. So there is a heater element in here, plus the exhaust gases ensures it reaches its optimum operating temperature, and the heater is usually wired by two white wires. As you can see, there's a white wire here and a white wire here. So if we go to the coupler, we will see these two white wires here. So with the help of a multimeter, we can find out if the heating coil is working. So these two are 1 and 2, which corresponds to this and this. I will just check the heating coil. I have put one probe here and one here, and as you can see, there is some resistance being shown here. So the heating coil is okay. I'm going to use a carburetor throttle plate intake cleaner to clean this. There doesn't seem to be much cleaning to do. And this is more of the threads than anything else. So I have cleaned it as much as I possibly could. Now inside this sensor there is a heater coil which heats up the oxygen sensor so that it reaches its operating temperature quickly. And in some cases it seems when the car is idling and the exhaust gases are not hot, that heater also helps maintain that operating temperature of the sensor. So this sensor plays a vital role in how your fuel efficiency is calibrated by the car's ECU, depending on what information it gets from this sensor. So keeping it clean and ensuring that it works properly is in the interest of fuel efficiency. So now that I've cleaned it, what I will be doing is I will be applying some copper paste on the threads here, and that is vital to ensure that the two surfaces, this and the where and the slot it goes into, do not fuse because of the high temperatures that are encountered in the exhaust manifold areas. I'll just now tighten it. As you can see, we have no codes now. Everything is okay after cleaning the bank 1 sensor, that is before the catalytic converter O2 sensor. And I'll just switch on the car and just to show you whether we have any codes in the engine. So that's just the parking indicator. That's, you can get rid of that. That's because the door is open, and that's just so that I need to put on the pedal before I can shift the car. So everything is okay. This was a small video on how to clean or check the oxygen sensor. The oxygen sensor that we cleaned now, the one which is before the catalytic converter, that measures the amount of oxygen in the exhaust gases, and the catalytic converter, which is which has a O2 sensor behind it, that sensor determines how efficient our catalytic converter is working. And I hope you like the video.